Hey everyone, today we are going to solve the LeetCode question, Zigzag Conversion. Okay, so let's think about what we should do with this example, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and the nums row equal 4. So first of all, we have 4 rows, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have to put all characters like a zigzag path, right? So first of all, we find A. So A is going to first row, and the next B is going to second row, and this C is going to third row, and the next D is fourth row. And after that, E is going to third row, so E, and F is going to second row, and this T is going to first row, and this H is going to second row, and the last I is going to third row. So now we have zigzag path. And then after that, all we have to do is create a string in each row. So first of all, first row. So this should be A, Z. And next, we create a string in second row. So this will like a B, F, H. And third row is like a C, E, I. And the fourth row is D. And then after that, we concatenate all strings and then return the whole string. So that means so A, Z, B, F, H, C, E, I, D. So this is a return value. So so as you can see, we have 2 points. So first point is put characters on zigzag path like this, and then create a string horizontally. Very easy, right? Okay, so let's think about the first key point. Put characters on zigzag path. So look at this zigzag path. So A is a first row, right? And B is a second row, and C is a third row, and D is a fourth row, and E is a third row, and the second row, and the first row, second row, and the third row. So as you can see, all we have to do is we just move up and move down. More precisely, if we reach the nums minus 1, so we move up next time, and if we reach the first row, we move down the next time. So that's because if we put the index number here, so first row should be index 0, and the second row is index 1, and the third row is index 2, and the fourth row is index 3. So this 3 is a nums minus 1, right? 4 minus 1 equals 3, right? So when we reach the nums minus 1, we have to move up, and when we reach the first row, we have to move down, right? So, and then we will create a direction variables to handle moving direction. So when we move down, so variable has 1 because index number will be increased, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. And on the other hand, when we move up, the variable has minus 1 because index number is decreased, right? 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so let me demonstrate one by one. So first of all, we create a 2D array, and this is index 0, 1, 2, 3. And we have two variables. One is an index number. So first of all, 0. So that means first character goes to index 0, first row. So, and we have direction variable. And first of all, we move down, right? So that means index number will be increased. So that's why we have positive 1. And then, so let's begin. First of all, we have A, right? So A goes to index 0. And then every time we add plus 1 because the direction variable has 1. So add plus 1 to index, so 1. And then, so next character B is going to index 1, right? So B. And then D still have 1, so that's why index is now 2. And then we have C. So C is going to index 2, and then add plus 1 to index. And then we have D, so D is here. And then, so now we reach a nums row minus 1, right? So nums row minus 1. So that's why we have to move up from index 3 to index 0, right? So that's why we have to change direction variable from index, no, not index, +1 to -1, so that we can go up, right? And then add -1 to index number, so that means 2, right? So next character is E. So E is going to index 2. That means third row. So E is here. And then add -1 to index number, so 1. And then next character should be F. F is going to index 1, so second row. So F is here. And then add -1 to index 0. And the next character, Z, is going to index 0. So now we reach the first row, so we have to move down, right? So that's why, again, we change direction variable to 1. And then add 1 to index number. So next is 1. And then, so next character is Z. So Z is going to second row, so which means index 1. So H. And then add +1 to index number, so 2. And then next character is I. So I is going to index 2, so which means third row. So I. And then add +1 to index number, but we finish iteration, right? So now we have AZ at index 0, BFEH at index 1, and CEI at index 2, and only D at index 3. So all we have to do is concatenate all characters at each row. So this should be AZ, and this should be BFH, and this should be not E, CEI, and this is D. So, and then all we have to do is, again, concatenate all strings, and then we can create this string. So first two character is AZ, so AZ, and BFH, BFH, and CEI, and CEI, and D, right? So we should return this string. One more important thing is that, so why we use 2D array instead of 1D array? So that's because if we use a 1D array, so of course we can solve this question with 1D array, but we have to concatenate all characters in the same row when we add a new character every time. So since a string is immutable, so when we create a new string, we allocate a new space and copy all characters to the new space, so which is on. So we repeat the process length of s times. So that's why time complexity should be on square. So n is the length of string s. So let me demonstrate quickly. So we have a here, and b here, and c, d. And the next e is at index 2, right? But we already have c. So that's why we allocate a new space and copy all characters, I mean c and e, to new space and create a new string. So that means C and E here. And then next F, right? So we already have B. So that's why allocate a new space and copy all character B and F, and then create a new character. So it's time consuming, right? And the same things happen at index 0. So we add Z, so create a new string. So A with A and Z. And then next, we have H. So BFH. So now we have three characters. So allocate new space and copy all characters to the new space. So next, we have I. So we put I here. So but we have CE already. So that's why allocate a new space and create a new string CEI. So this process is on square. So to avoid the on square, so we use a 2D array. That's because so we have A at first, right? A, B, C, D. And the next character is E. So this E is going to the last position at index 2. So which is O1, right? And then so next F is going to last position at index 1. So this is also O1. And this D is going to last position at index 0. So this is O1. And the next age is going to last position at index 1. So this is O1, and the same thing, this I is going to index 2, right? And this is the last position. So all operation is O1. So that's why this 2D array is good for time complexity. Yeah, so that is a basic idea to solve this question. So let's jump into the code. Okay, so let's write the code. First of all, check base case. So if nums, not nums, num rows equal 1, or num rows is greater than or equal length of s. So in the case, we just return s. And then, if not the case, create an index variable and a direction variable equal 0 and 1. And then create, let's say, rows. So this is a 2D array. So we can create a 2D array like this for underscore in range and num rows. And then let's iterate through all characters one by one. So for character in S, and then rows index dot append and a character, and if index equal 0, in the case direction should be positive 1. Else if index equal row, not no, num rows minus 1. In the case, we have to move up. So that's why d equal minus 1. And every time we update index number with direction, so plus equal d. And then after that, so we concatenate strings from each row. So for I in range and num rows and the rows I equal empty dot join and rows and I. After that, return. So we do the same thing. So empty dot join and rows. Yeah, so let me submit it. Yeah, looks good. And the time complexity of this solution should be order of n, where n is the length of input string. And the space complexity is also order of n. Yeah, so that's all I have for you today. Please support me with the actions such as comment and hitting like button. I'll see you in the next question.